What up, everybody? It's your boy DFS Up North, aka Josh Thomas, and I am here today for a Sunday sermon talking about the overlay on Thrive Fantasy today. The big contest is only 10% filled, and we have 3 hours to lock. This is a fantastic opportunity for you guys to jump in. If maybe you've never played Thrive before, get in on this big contest, make yourself some money. All right. I'm going to be talking about, there's 20 props. You got to pick 10, and each prop is assigned instead of just like an over, you're going to still pick an over or under, but each prop is assigned a point value. So very similar to a DFS contest like on DraftKings or FanDuel, you are trying to get the most points in your lineup, and that is how it's just like a tournament, right? The person with the most points is going to win the most money. So let's take a look at the contest here. We'll take a look at the props. I'm going to show you how I am using the DFS Army VIP tools to come up with my lineup today. So this contest, right, is a $15,000 guaranteed contest. Multiple entries, so you can play up to 25 times, and it pays out 145 places right now. We only have 71 people in right now. Everybody's guaranteed money right now. All right. Now, is this going to get closer to filled? Yes. All right. But it's going to, we're looking at some serious overlay here. And what are the payouts? Let's check that out. First place, $3,750, $3,750 for $25 in. That is an unreal return on investment. All right. Second place, $2,000. Third place, $1,250. All the way down to 46 to the 145th is $35. Now, look at this payout structure. All right. It is very, very top heavy. All right. So what does that mean? That means that when we are picking props, all right, we need to be a little bit funky to try to get ourselves to the top. All right. Because I ain't here to min cash. All right. I need a shirt that says that. I ain't here to min cash. All right. Scoring, if you've never played here before, again, very, very similar to DraftKings. It's exactly the same, right? We're looking for pass yards, pass touchdowns, things like that. If you've never played here before, let me throw this up real quick, right? If you've never played on Thrive before, and today you're watching this video and you're like, man, I got to get some of that sweet, sweet overlay, baby. $50 match in your first deposit. You make a deposit for $50. All right. You use the code DFS Up North. They will match you $50 on your first deposit. So that gets you $100 in your account. Instant, right? Essentially instant, right? You put that code DFS Up North only for first time users, right? You put that code in, you get $100. That gives you 4 cracks at $37.50. All right. Especially when we're talking about that sweet, sweet overlay, right? Get involved. All right. So look at the contest now. There's a couple of props here that we are not going to be able to play today. All right. Because we are looking at, let me see, making picks here. All right. Aaron Jones, 75.5. It is looking like he is not going to play today. It looks like we're going to get that Jamal Williams chalk on FanDuel and DraftKings. So, if he's active, right? If we find out here in the next hour or two, and you're going to wait to make lineups until right before we go, if he's active, all right, you can put Aaron Jones 75.5. You can take the under on that. All right. But if he doesn't play, then what will happen is that it'll have to go to your in case of emergency prop. So the nice thing about Thrive is that if somebody doesn't play, all right, you can take they will take your 2 in case of emergency props. All right. So your number 1 will be the first one in, number 2 will be in. If he plays 1 snap, though, that counts. So maybe the strategy here in GPP is to take, obviously this is a GPP, it's a guaranteed prize pool, but is to take the under. I hope he maybe gets out there for a snap. And if not, you just put your good in case of emergency prop in there and know that that's the one that's going to slide in there for Jones. So that might be actually an interesting play. The other one that's not going to happen because he's already been ruled out is Joe Mixon. So we're not going to play the Joe Mixon line. Anybody else in here that's missing? I'm not really sure. We got Jacobs, Waller. Nope. Everybody else looks pretty good. So let's go through. We're going to break down these props. And I'm going to tell you, the 10 props that I'm going to use in my contest. So right off the bat, we have Drew Brees at 280.5 total pass yards, and we are getting points on the under. All right. This one was set. All right. So these contests come out on like Thursday, sometimes Wednesday, both Thursday though. All right. So much injury news happens between Thursday and Saturday that sometimes these lines are a little bit skewed. All right. So we've got Michael Thomas out, picked up an injury in practice. Manuel Sanders out. So Brees has only got Traquan Smith, all right, and Harris, right? Deontay Harris to throw the ball to. I just don't see Brees getting to 280 yards. But let's check out, some of our tools here at DFS Army to see if we can get there. All right, so we have a prop finder. This is actually free. I thought we locked this up. We really should lock it up because it aggregates all of the props out there. All right, and tells you what's going on. So passing yards. DraftKings has pulled his passing yards prop, but BetMGM 267, FanDuel 269. All right. We have Statsational, John Alessias, one of our sports bet guys. He has his power rankings here, and these are basically his projections on what he thinks teams are going to have for total yardages and scores. And he uses this to help him in DFS. All right, so we get this up for our members, but his projections right now, and these update right with the injury news. So his projections right now have New Orleans looking at, where are we at here? 121 rushing yards and 230 passing yards. All right. So we go back to Thrive. We are taking the under here all day. This prop should be 100% owned in the contest. It won't be. All right. So you can get some massive leverage on the field. So if you're making 4 lineups, you put Drew Brees 100, under 280 every single time. All right. Aaron Jones, right? If you want to play it in GPP, I don't mind it. There's still some questions, all right? And just know that you're in case of emergency prop is going to be in. But if he plays, I like the under here, all right? You're getting 90 points, so not bad. Will Fuller, 72.5. Back to our handy-dandy prop finder, all right? So here's the issue with Fuller today is that he's going to be going up against Jair Alexander, who is a stud for Green Bay. This is a very, very tough matchup. And I don't know, he's not necessarily going to follow Fuller across the field, but Fuller plays on his side like 80% of the snaps. So this is a very, very tough matchup. And we're getting, 69.5, 70.5, 71.5. The under on 5.5 receptions makes me think like, okay, we're going to maybe be close to the under here. So none of these props out there have Fuller at 72.5. One thing that we can check here too is our research station that we use for our DFS Army VIPs. We can check the wide receiver matchups and see what's going on for my boy Willie Foles. Let's see here. Scroll down. Where's Fuller? There he is. All right, let's see our projections. So we're projecting him for 17.6 DraftKings points. We can scroll over here to my projections. So our projections do have him at 74.9. I'm going to go against our projections here, and I'm going to take the under. Here's the other thing about props. Everybody wants to play the over. Everybody wants to play the over. But the reality is that the under hits at almost between 56 and 60% of the time, depending on the position. So unders are your friend here. They are scary. They are not fun, but unders are your friend, especially in these contests. All right. Kenny Golladay, big time matchup with the Atlanta Falcons. He is a matchup nightmare. All right. So let's check the props. Let's check the prop finder. Let's see what we got going on here. See if anything has changed. Obviously these lines get set early in the week. So, we can get some advantage here by waiting until Sunday. Receptions made. So we have an under 5.5. Over is plus money. They're projecting for about 5 receptions, which is exactly what we're looking at here. All right. Let me check something. I want to look and see if Galladay's had less than 5 receptions yet this year. Look it up on my phone here. But yeah, I think the GPP play, like the contest play here, might be Galladay under. Yeah, he's had 4 of the last 2 games. He's only had 1 game with more than 4 receptions. I'm going to take the points here, boys and girls. I know the matchup is fantastic, but I like it. I mean, he could beat me on this in the first quarter, but I'm going to take the 120 points here. Absolutely. What's our research station say? Let's just check that out. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to be right at 5. I like the 4.5. I like the under. I like the 4 receptions here. I'm going to take the 120 points. I'm going to take it. All right. We got Matt Ryan, 25.5 total completions. See if we can find some props here. I mean, guy hucks the ball. Absolutely. Passing completions, we're looking at overs a slight favorite. This might be a stay away from me. What's the numbers on it? Needs 26. If I'm going to go somewhere, it's going to be the over here. All right. Josh Allen, 2.5 pass TDs against the terrible New York Jets, who are I just don't even know, like, how do you be a Jets fan? Like, I'm a Vikings fan, and it's miserable, but I cannot imagine being a Jets fan at all. So if we scroll over here to our projections, this pass and rush, 2.5 pass TDs. Come on now. I guess he could throw 3. That's a low percentage play, though. So, I mean, he's a favorite to throw 2, but 2.5? That's sketchy. So our projections have him at 1.9 past. I'm going to take the under. I'm sure the under is like 80 points, right? I'm not touching the over there. I like the under. Baker Mayfield, interceptions. The guy throws a ton of picks. And sometimes you do need to take the points, but something like a pick is so... It's so hard to predict, right? There's so many things that have to go right. Now, has Mayfield thrown a ton of picks this year? Yeah, he's thrown 6, right? 2 last week, 2 the week before. His decision-making's been poor. But it's just it's hard to get on board with, only 70 points on not a low percent. I mean, it's likely to happen. He's only had 2 games this year where he hasn't thrown a pick, but man, hard to get on board with that. Joe Mixon, we can't touch. Juju Smith-Schuster, a 0.5 receiving TD. So let's find what his receiving TD prop is. Juju. We got a tough matchup. We got him plus 190 to score a touchdown. I'm going to bring up something that is a tool that we use for our VIPs over at Sportsbet Army. An odds calculator. And that's going to tell us, and you can use this again if you're not a DFS Army VIP, but the money line is plus 190. So we're looking at something that happens 35-ish% of the time. All right. So 35% of the time, Juju's going to score a touchdown, right? So you can take the under here at 75 points. If I was going to go anywhere, it would probably be that. I'm going to take the percentage here, 75, right? But I don't mind it. I just think there's better props out there than the last few that we've kind of gone through here. All right. Tanny, 250 total pass yards. We're going to look at a couple of things here. Ryan, I actually like Ryan Tannehill big time in GPP today. I think on DFS, like if we're talking about DraftKings and FanDuel, I think this whole game kind of goes off. Where's Tanny? There's Tannehill. All right, week 7 projections. We have him at 259.2. All right, what stats say? What's stats say about this game? What are we looking at for Tennessee? So stats is right at 246. So we're looking at the under there slightly. And now we'll check our third piece. 264 is 268. Oh, baby. These pass props have gone up exponentially this week. Lock and load the Tannehill over at 95 points. All right. 95. Love it. Zeke against Washington. This is an interesting game. All right. Dalton threw the ball so many times last week. Granted, they were down. Washington is terrible. The over-under on this game is so bad. But let's dive in. Let's look at our research here. Zeke boy, Elliott, not somebody that I'm really going to play on, DFS this week, but we are projecting my boy Zeke for, 81 yards and 25. Not very good at math, but that looks like 106. The prop here is 105. Perfect, right? So right on the money. It's a 50-50. Look at Elliott. See what the other props have to say about him. 81.5, 20. Yeah, we're looking at the over here. stats. What are we looking at for Dallas? What's he telling me? 113 and 324, 37. Whoa. Stats likes this game. I don't have a ton of trust in Zeke, but if I'm going to go somewhere, it's going to be the over here, right? It's going to be the over, obviously. Lindsey, okay? The next two guys we're talking about in a game, Philip Lindsey and Patrick Mahomes, we're talking about a game that is looking at 3 to 5 inches of snow, all right? That is crazy. So, again, what's Lindsey done this? First, we need to find out what's it look like on Melvin Gordon's front. Looks like he's healthy. He's going to play. Not listed on the injury report. Let's see what the prop finder says about Lindsey. What's he likely to score a touchdown? Phil Lindsey, 39.5. Oh, guys, he's plus 380 to score a touchdown. Plus 380. All right, let's look at this. Let's go back to this. Let's say 20% of the time probability. Smash the under here. Smash the under at 110 points. You're getting 80% of the time that this happens. You smash the under every time. Patrick Mahomes, all right, 3.5 pass TDs. We know that in these cold weather games where it's snowing, that we see about a 4 point, in terms of DFS, we see about 4 points under projection on average, all right? Let's look at what the props say. This might just mean a take your 80 points on the under and move on. Let's see here. Mahomes. He's seen, I know I've been watching him. I was going to play him in BFS this week, but the weather has got me off. So we got Patrick Mahomes with 265 pass yards. He's a pretty heavy favorite to throw at least 2 touchdowns. But again, a minus 227 to throw, not throw an interception. Yeah, I mean, just do some math here real quick on the odds calculator. So he's what? Minus 220. Minus 220. So what is 70% of the time he's going to throw 2 touchdown passes? We can probably go down to about 40% of the time that he's going to throw 3. But we need him to throw 4 here. Yeah, under and go. Under and go. Take the points. Take the 80, lock it in. How many do I have so far here? Let's look. So I've got 9 of 10 positions filled, and we still got a bunch to go. Again, we'll talk about Jimmy G here. I don't love Garoppolo. I don't think we're going to get they probably won't give me a completions, will they? Passing yards, 237. What's the research station say on completions? Yeah, I don't love Jimmy G in this matchup against the Pats, against his former team. I would imagine we have him right at 22.7. 22 points. You could take the over. You could have a bunch of dump offs here, especially if they're going to bring pressure on him. I don't love it. It seems safe. 22 is not a ton. Has he had less than 20? I mean, obviously he looked terrible the last week. Last 2 weeks, really. Let me see. Jimmy G's got 23 attempt completions last week. Man, he doesn't do it. He doesn't have it. Oh, this is an ugly. I don't like this at all. And that's exactly why it's priced 100 and 100, right? Julian Edelman, 52.5. This is a tough offense to get a read on, right? We don't know what Cam Newton's going to do. Oof. Under is the only one out there is 47.5. Man, he's struggled at times to be on the same page as Cam Newton. Julian Edelman, he's questionable. We have him at 48. Yeah, we're going to take the under here, boys and girls. He should play, it looks like. But under on Edelman, yeah, we're going to get points too. Yeah, 115. Lock and load, baby. Lock and load. Now we're getting into that Sunday night game. These are both listed as Sunday night games, but Brady and Jacobs and Waller are actually in the afternoon. They're at that 4 o'clock slate. All right. So we got DK Metcalf up first. I mean, this game is going to absolutely go off tonight, is my assumption. All right. The over is pretty heavily favored. FanDuel set the line at 76. We have him at, scroll to the top here. DK, where are you at? All right, we have DK at 80. We're at 77. I'd take the over. I think he's going to go off tonight. I really like that. DeAndre Hopkins is going to play. We have him at 6.5 receptions. We have the over at 7.1 on DFS Army. Prop Finder, we're looking at DeAndre. Oh, sweet line. 0.5 DraftKings, thanks. He's minus 5,000 to get 1 reception. I like the over here. I think that Hopkins is going to have a big one tonight, but it's only 80 points. So, again, probably another stay away. Brady against the Bucks, or against the Bucks, against the Raiders. TB12, I think, is I know our GPP guy really likes Brady here. 291 yards in the projections. Let's see. Tom Brady passing yards. So his props are way low, 270. Let's see the odds calculator, or not odds calculator. Let's see the rankings here. The props are so low. And stats only has him at 258 too, or 268. And we're looking at 282. I do like him, but man, I don't know. I think that this goes right back into it. Hold on, I'm having an issue here with my screen. Yeah, I think you could easily take the under here on Brady. I don't mind that at all. I think that's the play. I think that's a great, Vegas is not wrong. I am not as smart as Vegas. I can tell you that a million times, right? So yeah, I'm going to take the under on Brady. That might be part of my main GPP lineup here. Okay, Josh, we got 2 left. We got Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller. So Jacobs' projections for rushing yards and receiving yards is right around, I'm not very good at math, right around 87. We're looking at 85. Research Station says for Jacobs, I don't like this matchup at all. I think if I'm going to take anything, it's going to be the under here, but I got Jacobs at 64 and 84. It's a stay away from me. If you wanted to do anything, I'd take the under for 110 points. This Tampa Bay defense is no joke, and their offensive line is a mess. Now, they have gotten guys back. All right, they've gotten guys back. They are healthier. They had a big deal with the offensive line having issues with COVID this week, but seems like everybody's going to play besides maybe one guy. So, again, I think these are both kind of stay aways from me. So it looks like Waller, I'd take the under against, I don't know. What do we project him at? 0.5-ish, probably. I don't love Waller here. I don't think this is a good matchup at all. Let me just see. We'll double check the research station as our last one. We want to make sure that we're doing this the right way. D-Walls, where are you at, boy? Is he priced way up here? All right. We're only projecting him for not even half a TD. I'd take the under all day on this. I don't love this matchup. I think that the Raiders are going to get rolled here. But so right now, what I've got in here is probably what I'm going to run with, right? It looks like anyways. I think I've clicked on everybody that I like, and I'm right at around 1,000 points. That's what we're looking at to win a GPP. So I am definitely going to be looking at that here and just kind of watching as we get a little bit closer to lock and we get some more information. Maybe we'll know something about Aaron Jones, things like that. Have we got anybody else signing up while we were watching? Or are we still looking at, we're at 71, but we'll refresh this. refresh the contest. There are other see, we're already 50 people in, right? Love it. This TD's only another contest. That's great. You got a $20 NFL week 7, 1,500 guaranteed. Only 85 people in there. 24. We got overlay everywhere, guys. Overlay is everywhere. So if you've never played here before, again, use that code DFS up north. Get yourself some match here, up to a $50 match on Thrive Fantasy if you're a first-time user. All right. So check it out. You guys can always hit me up on Twitter. If you are a DFS Army VIP, hit me up on Slack. If you have any questions, we got about 2.5 hours here to lock. Good luck, everybody. Have a great week 6, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the top of the leaderboard.